Hi guys, it's John here, and this is a speed test between the Galaxy S22 Ultra, Galaxy S23 Ultra, the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and the Galaxy S24 Plus. So here we have the Exynos 2200 Galaxy S22 Ultra, got the 8 Gen 2 Galaxy S23 Ultra, 8 Gen 3 Galaxy S24 Ultra, and the Exynos 2400 S24 Plus. So what we're going to do is run through a speed test testing apps and memory management. You can see here at the bottom of the phones we've got a USB-C connection. That is for my patent pending device here. I'm going to use a mouse to click all devices, screens at the same time, as you can see. So that's going to be how we're going to keep this as fair as possible to make sure that things are loaded at the very same time. Okay, so we're going to start with the boot test here. I'm going to try and get these to all turn on at exactly the same time. What we'll do is run down the apps here, and then we'll do some memory management in between. Then we'll move on to the games, and then we'll do a speed test testing the Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and the SIM card connectivity. Okay, so now we are done with the speed test, opening up the apps. We're going to go through memory management now and see how much remains in RAM. Don't forget these are all 12GB models, so hopefully they can cope pretty well, but we shall see. Starting off with Bing. Still there on all four. Go back to Chrome. It's still there on all four. So in the camera we can see that it was still here on the S24 Ultra. TikTok has stayed on both the S24 Ultra and the S24 Plus. We've got the gallery here, and that is still open on all four. We still have Spotify as well. So we've got YouTube on all phones except for the S23 Ultra here. And we've come out of RAM here on the S23 Ultra, as you can see. It's asking us if we want to resume our unsaved work. We're going to put yes, just to go back and put them in an equal state. Play Store is there on all, and so is Reddit, as is Twitter, as is a Prime Video. Okay, so some pretty good memory management there between the phones. Slightly lacking on the S23 Ultra. Not sure why, I haven't had any problems with it personally through the last year of use, but yeah, you can see there it does strip things out of RAM a bit quicker than the S24s at least. So we're going to close out of all of those, and then we're going to move on to the gaming load test. We're going to start with PUBG, move across, and then do some more memory management. Right, so you can see for the S23 Ultra and the two S24s here, we've got it set to smooth and 90. We can't set that on the 2200 here, so we're just going to leave it on smooth and extreme, just so you can get a feel as to how fast these load up. We're just going to go into Cheer Park and do that as the test. Okay, next we're going to move on to Genshin Impact. And we'll be testing here which loads up to the main screen first, and then obviously which gets into the game first. They are all set to medium and 60 FPS. So there we are, the S24 Ultra beating the other phones there, followed very closely by the 2400, and then very close together was the 2200 and the 8 Gen 2. Okay, next up we have COD Mobile. A win there for the 8 Gen 2. Okay, graphics wise we are set to high and max on all phones. So let's just get into a multiplayer match and see how long it takes. We're just going to go into one versus the AI. Okay, and I can't press on the mouse with this, so I'm going to try and use my fingers instead. Another easy win there for the S24 Ultra, with the 2400 coming in last place. Okay, next up is Fortnite. Right, these are all set to 60 and low, just to try and keep it as fair as possible. This isn't really a good test because the amount of time it takes to find a game varies so much, but we're going to start it off anyway and just see which one comes out on top. This is just a bit of fun, just take it with a grain of salt, but it'll give you an idea as to how long it takes for each phone to load up the game. Right, we've skipped Asphalt 9, I don't have 4 accounts ready to test that, so we're just going to do the memory management now and see whether any of these are still in RAM. So amazingly there, although we've been kicked out, these are both still running on the S24 Ultra and S24 Plus. So we'll just let these get back to the main menu and then we will move on to the next app. Okay, Genshin Impact. And yes, we're still there on the 3 phones from the S23 up, but we have lost it on the S22 Ultra. Again, we'll get back to the same state on all phones. Okay, COD Mobile. And we're actually there on all phones, so that's good. Okay, so interesting, Fortnite isn't actually showing on the S22 Ultra here, but we're going to try and get back into it anyway, just see what happens. No, it's definitely gone, but we are still there on the S23 Ultra and S24 series. So some pretty impressive results there for the S23 and especially the S24 series with their RAM management there. So let's move on now. We're going to do a speed test. We're going to test the Wi-Fi, mobile data and a Ethernet connection. So I'm going to run through one at a time obviously, and we will just see we are on the same server that we're connected to, so we'll just see how they all compare. This is a gig connection up and down, so I should be able to get about 900 in both directions minimum. Obviously this is a standard Wi-Fi 5G connection, so we're not going to get that, but it'll be interesting to see how they compare in terms of their Wi-Fi cards. Right, so some quite interesting results. I'd say overall the S23 Ultra here won with a 315 down and 329 up. Although we did get a 319 down on the 2400, we got 217 up. So overall, the S23 Ultra with the 8 Gen 2 is the winner here. Right, so I have turned the Wi-Fi off on these and we're now going to test the Ethernet speed. So this is really a good test of the USB connectivity. So we have got a gig Ethernet over Cat6 here and we'll just see how well these can do. Okay, so great result there for the 2400, beating all the other phones quite comfortably. 629 down and 924 up. Followed very closely there by the S23 Ultra, then the S23 Ultra, and then the S22 Ultra. Now I have tested this multiple times. I've run through this video already once, and it is the same result where the 2400, for whatever reason, over USB Ethernet is faster than the Ultra with its 8 Gen 3. Okay, so what we're going to do, I've got a SIM card in here. We're going to do the speed test as well. We can see that currently I am on 4G+. That's as best as I can get in this location, so I can't test 5G sadly. We're just going to do another speed test and see what happens. Right, so something I've noticed here on the S24 Ultra so far is that it's just showing 4G, it's not showing 4G plus like we had on the S23 Ultra and the S22 Ultra. We'll do the test anyway and see what happens. Okay, so it did eventually switch to 4G Plus, as you can see, and we've got some really good speeds here. So let's try the Exynos 2400 and see what we get here. Okay, so you can see here we are on a 4G Plus. Let's give the Exynos 2400 a go. Right, so some really impressive results there from our phones, especially the S24 Plus here with a download speed of 63 megabits per second. That's really amazing when you compare that to the other phones. It's almost twice as fast. Upload speed is a bit slower. It's the second slowest, just behind the S24 Ultra. But to be honest, I'd rather have the download speed than the upload speed on my phone for when I'm out and about. So yeah, a good little win there for the S24 Plus. Right, so there we are at the end of the test, and you can see with the results the clear winner here. What are your thoughts down below? Don't forget, this is just a bit of fun. This isn't scientific particularly, but it's just to give you a bit of an idea as to how fast each of these phones is performing in 2024. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video.